Lies, lies, and even more lies. I am getting to the point where I am just getting so sick and fed up with all of the mainstream media lies, and in this video in particular it's mostly going to be CNBC, as really that's the only mainstream news in which that I have been watching. I'm sure CNN, Fox News, ABC, so many others are almost as bad, just as bad, or maybe even worse. But in this particular video, it's all going to be about CNBC. There has been so many people who are putting trust in CNBC, and they are just getting whiplashed as far as their equity markets have been concerned. And it's not because CNBC is there to help you, it's because they are there to help the agenda. At least that's what I have been noticing so far. I mean, the first thing is they say that they're first in business. I'll get more to that in a little bit. But they talk about as in the best business for us to do is to always invest in stocks. And that's the only thing they pretty much are telling us to invest in is some form of stock equity. They really don't want us to invest in commodity stocks, but they don't mind that because at least you're investing in the stock market. Now, they're not even telling you what the truth of the stock market really is. They don't tell you that it's a form of gambling, that it's like playing a casino. I mean, they come on all the time and saying, I think you should be buying yourself some Citigroup. But you don't see them coming on and saying, you know what, look at the pitchers tonight in the Yankees-Blue Jays game. They're not really playing too well. This pitcher on the Yankees is pretty hurt. Both the Blue Jays and Yankees got hitters that can hit the ball out of the park. I like the over 9.5 runs here tonight. No, they're not going to say that, but what's the difference with putting money in Citigroup than putting money on a baseball game? It's all the same thing. You are trying to risk money to make money, knowing that you could lose money. And they don't say much about you could be losing money. They say the odd time, well, if you're betting on this, yeah, they'll say that the odd time, but they don't talk too much about it always being a casino. It always has been. And as far as their predictions are concerned, I mean, their predictions aren't even all that great. If they had better predictions, oh, I'd like to buy this now, my target to sell is this, or later on they say, we broke the support level, I think we should unload half for all your shares. No, they're not saying that. It's always buy this and cover your shorts. It's never sell this or short the market. That's the big problem. They don't teach you entry and exit points. And if they were first in stock market investing, do you see them having a weekly or a daily show which teaches you how to trade technical analysis? I didn't learn it from there. I learned it on YouTube, where I'm pretty much learning everything else on how to trade technical analysis. And for all those fundamentals out there, are they teaching you that also? Teaching you how to successfully trade fundamentally? The answer is no. So they are not teaching you what is important, in my opinion, for making money on the stock market. And what really got to me recently was the interviews with Neale and Schiff. I mean, right from the outset, Neale was out there to belittle Schiff so badly, and this was getting too far. And this really frustrated me so much, because before I'd be watching CNBC and be like, you know what, they are just up to no good, they're lying, and try to figure out the lies. And then you laugh at it as a form of entertainment, they're lying here. Then you think to yourself, wait a second, there's just so many people who have put their trust in this organization and they are getting betrayed so badly. This to me is just unfortunate how they would go as far as to be doing this type of stuff. Schiff has nailed this economic crisis so perfectly, yet they belittle him so much. He called how the stocks were going to be falling, and they did. He's talking about the dollar crisis, and yet they continuously give him a cold shoulder as much as they possibly can. That is very unfortunate. And anytime you have a guest on CNBC who says they're from this ex-financial organization, it's like, if you believe what someone from a financial organization has to say, I'm sorry, but I understand how many people from the mainstream have done what they can to just give you all of these lies, because, like I said, they talk how they are first in business. And realistically, let's just do a definition of business. This comes from businessdictionary.com. It is defined as an economic system in which goods and services are exchanged for one another or money on the basis of their perceived worth. Every business requires some form of investment and a sufficient number of customers to whom its output can be sold at a profit on a consistent basis. So if your whole thing about business is to put money into a stock market, well, yeah, if you know what you're doing, that is a business. But the key thing requires some sort of investment and a sufficient number of customers to whom its output can be sold at a profit. I mean, I don't hear too much of people saying, you know what, the Dow's at 11,400. I really think it's time to short the market and sell any longs you have, whether it be for profit, break even, or losses. No, they weren't saying that. And did they tell you how to protect your 401k portfolio? No. Yet that would have been a way to profit from the economic collapse, or at least not lose the kind of money that so many people did. So they talk about the investment so much, and on the same on investorwords.com, it says that investment can be defined as in finance, the purchase of a financial product or other item in value with an expectation of favorable future returns. In general terms, keyword general, investment means the use of money in hope of making more money. Definition number 2. In business, the purchase by a producer of a physical good, such as durable equipment or inventory, in the hope of improving future businesses. Yet we're not seeing CNBC first in business talking about how to invest during a severe recessionary period. No, they keep on saying, oh, is the recession over? It's coming soon. The recovery is coming soon. That's what they're saying. They're not telling you how to invest during recessionary periods like this. That, to me, once again, is extremely unfortunate, because you could say, well, going short is the best way to go in this market. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Myself, my theory is if you want to short the market, hedge your short. And there is many ways of doing it. Once again, CNBC doesn't talk too much about how to hedge your bets. Oh, we think you should be buying yourself some Bank of America or Wells Fargo. Yet they don't tell you how to protect yourself. They don't talk too much about stop losses. No. And that, once again, is a major problem. And a lot of times when mainstream says something, you can expect the opposite. Well, let's look at what mainstream media is saying and not saying. They're saying a recovery is coming soon. So the definition of that would be a recovery is not coming soon. They are saying that the dollar is fine and inflation should not get out of control. Therefore, the dollar is not fine and inflation should get out of control. That is how, when I look at the mainstream media, that is how I analyze what I am watching and reading from the articles that they have pointed out. For example, recently they talked about this head and shoulders pattern. Apparently the mainstream media did. Whether CNBC did or not, I don't know. I have not seen one single clip of mainstream talking about the head and shoulders pattern, but I have heard over a half a dozen people say on the internet that mainstream talked about it. And what happened? Well, we had one small sell-off and the market had a 7% gain for the week after they talked about the head and shoulders pattern. Do you think they knew something? I mean, hello. Yet the last time there was a significant head and shoulders pattern, which I talked about, was back about a year ago. That was when the Dow Jones the neckline was a little under 11,000, about 10,800 and change, and the top of the head was over 14,000. That's like 3,000 points. And the way in which, for example, Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends talks about head and shoulders, you take the difference of that move and reduce it, which would bring you to a little under 8,000. They didn't tell you about that head and shoulders pattern. They didn't tell you investment strategies on how to either protect or profit from the situation. No, and yet the head and shoulders pattern played out perfectly. So, quite frankly, myself, I'd like to finish this off by saying I have had enough of all of this mainstream media BS. I know it's most likely going to get worse and worse. But folks, I urge you either to do one of two things. I either urge you to, one, just turn off that mainstream bullshit, or B, learn how to read the BS in which they say. That is the best information that I can give you. I wish all of you the best in your investments. Remember, investing for a dollar collapse means getting assets in which has the best chances of having value over the next couple years for return of assets in which you can use. That is the proper investment strategies for the year 2009, 2010. You're not going to hear that from mainstream media, and because you don't hear that from mainstream media, it's most likely to be true that what I'm saying about investing in real assets is going to be smart investments. What assets you pick, well, that depends on your geographical area. That depends on the people that you know and who's associated, because that's going to be different for every person. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.